Hello and welcome back to the Fuel for Thought podcast. And today we're going to talk about the Japanese Grand Prix.
Race 4?
Yeah.
Race 4 of the season.
Race 4, yep.
It's interesting, this one, because this was a lot later last season. In fact,
September.
This race last season was when Red Bull won the Constructors' Championship. And Liam Lawson was in Alpha Tauri.
Hey, was
so
that one
it
of
was
his?
just to put some context to when the race was. Kind of date it, that's kind of the part of the season it was. So
Okay.
it's going to have some different implications towards this season because Championship's a bit closer at this stage for now.
Yeah. It's cherry blossom season in Japan. What a lovely time to be there, I'm sure.
Yeah, so hopefully this race has some better stories behind it. Although last year was a bit chaotic, if I remember.
Remind me, please.
Okay. So obviously Max won.
Yeah.
Because that was, I think, during his streak of winning everything.
Okay. So that's not when he won the
No, it's
championships
when Red Bull
did.
did,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had a McLaren 2-3.
Yeah.
They qualified really well as well.
Yeah.
They qualified 2-3, I believe. And Perez had a shocker. He also had a shocker overall. Like, this was probably his worst race of the season.
And they still won the Constructors'
They won it
Championship.
with Max's points.
Ah, yes. Yes. I remember.
So, this was an embarrassment for Sergio Perez. I can't remember where he qualified, but it was quite low down.
Okay.
At the start, Mercedes didn't qualify that well either. He clashed with Hamilton at the start. Then just tries to dive bomb into Magnussen and spins him round. Gets a penalty. Then, like, after his just time in the waters, Red Bull just retire his car. But then
was it that race?
they give him a penalty,
Oh,
and they're like,
wow.
"Oh, go back out, serve your penalty, come back in."
Yeah.
Which is
I
ridiculous.
remember that
I
now.
reckon they've probably changed the rules now that you can't do that. But what a shambles of a race for him.
I remember watching that and I was like, how? I didn't even realise that was allowed. Surely if
think it
you
is.
retire the car,
Shouldn't be, right?
yeah, you can't just send your car
Can't
out
just
to
go,
the
"Oh,
penalty.
I've got a penalty." Go on, but it's like, if you're going to do that, don't retire the car.
Yeah, I think that's out of order. I was shocked. I was like, surely not. I can't believe it was that race. Yeah, that's a shocker.
And there was a bunch of other clashes as well, like Sargent just crashed into Bottas and
Okay.
spun him around and took him out of the race.
How can I not remember this race? I'm going to have to rewatch it. It sounds like a good one.
This was also the race that Mercedes raced really hard with each other, and Hamilton pushed George off the track. And they were really going at it
Yeah,
with each other.
okay.
And 3 laps from the end, they swapped positions. And George was like, "Why don't we just wait till the last lap?" Because Sainz was right behind them.
Yes.
And then
Sainz overtook.
Sainz overtook George when they swapped
Yeah.
positions. So
Okay, yeah.
probably would have overtaken Hamilton either way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a bit of tension on that race.
I wonder if it will have that same kind of tension and a lot of drama being earlier on in the season,
You can
or
hope
maybe
so.
less.
And then the other teammate battle was obviously Lando and Piastri.
Yep.
So Piastri, I think, qualified second. And then it was a bit of a McLaren sandwich of Max at the start, but Max kind of pulled away. Lando got Piastri, and it was a whole... Piastri ended up back in front, but Lando later in the race was begging to be let past. He was just like, "I'm way faster, I'm just in the dirty air." So, like, I don't know.
He did pull ahead though, didn't he?
Yeah. But
Normally when he wants to go past, he pulls ahead and kind of shows
just
that it's worth
sounded a bit grumpy. It's like,
Yeah.
I know, you never know what the mindset is of a top sportsman, but I think ask a bit nicer, right?
it. I suppose.
Oscar's a nice boy, I'll let you through.
I feel like Oscar is the most calmest person ever. You hear his radios.
Yeah.
And he could win. He could win the championship and he'd be like, thanks.
Oh, good race that, mate.
Yeah, that was a good race. Could do better next time. You can literally be like, yeah, thanks guys. If he'd won the championship. If he broke Lewis Hamilton's record, he'd be like, yeah, thanks guys.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that happened. No, I think just there was a bit of a crash at the start, and there was a safety car
Safety gap.
on lap 2.
Oh,
to clear up some debris.
Who crashed out in lap 2?
No one crashed out. There was just a tangle at the
Okay.
start. It was a racing incident.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
But yeah, so
No rain last year, though, no?
no.
It was the year before that they had the tractor incident, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, with Pierre Gasly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so behind the leader, obviously quite exciting. Just hope there's a battle for the lead this year.
I hope so too. I wonder if Max will get it back this race, or maybe it would have shaken his confidence.
No.
DNFing? No, never. Max is a ball of steel.
It wasn't his fault, was it?
No, it wasn't.
A ball of steel.
A ball of steel. What is it?
Nerves of steel.
Nerves of steel. Yeah. I guess he could be a ball of steel. I don't know.
Well, I suppose if he wants to be.
Max can be whatever he wants to be.
So now that we recap that very quickly,
Shall I go through some of the race stats? As in,
if you want.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go through some track details,
All right.
shall I? I'm just going to read this directly from this website. Shout out to this website, amp.marker. With a top speed of 315 kilometers per hour and an average speed of 230 kilometers per hour, drivers have to be sharp around the 5.8 kilometer track with a mix of high and low speed corners.
Great
With-
for Mercedes, that.
Yep. With 18 corners, 10 right, 8 left, the best chance of overtaking is the Casio Triangle chicane at the end of the lap.
Mm-hmm.
There are no tarmac runoff areas at Suzuka. Drivers have to make sure they keep their tyres on the track or run the risk of ending up in the gravel. Suzuka is one of the toughest on the F1 calendar when it comes to tyres and will test all-round handling characteristics of each car. As a result, the teams and drivers will look to perfect a setup that allows the best traction, grip, and change of direction.
I'm trying to think who's been rough on their tyres so far. Has Red Bull been rough on their tyres so far? Can't remember.
I can't. I feel like yes.
I feel like
I
yes.
feel like Mercedes,
Really?
possibly.
I feel like we're just guessing.
I guess it just depends. Like,
Yeah.
obviously the corners. I guess 10. I think I said 10 left, 8 right, or the other way around. So it's relatively even. So I don't know if there'll be more graining on a certain side. I doubt it. If there's,
Don't know.
yeah,
But yeah. What now? Predictions?
predictions. Let's do it. Quali. I'll remember mine actually.
Go on then.
Big brain. So, P3, Oscar Piastri.
Okay. Any reason?
McLaren did really well last year.
Yeah,
and I
different year,
think
though, innit?
it is a different
And
year.
it's also way early in the season before the car development.
It is. But McLaren are still up there.
Yeah.
They were up there last
Not with
week.
that. Yeah.
So I think Oscar will be up there.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And P2, Lewis Hamilton.
No. What?
Lewis Hamilton.
From what we've seen so far?
From what we've seen so far, but he's just going to put perfect lap in. Like, this is all, like, vision in my head.
Okay.
Lewis is not going to do well, like, throughout
I
quali.
think you're crazy.
Okay, that's fine.
Insane
Do
predictions.
you know what I predicted last time? That he wouldn't make Q3, and he didn't. This time, I predict that he's going to
That's
be
more
P2 in
likely
qualifying.
with their car at the moment.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Q1, it's going to be like, oh, is Lewis going to get in? Is he going to get through to Q2? Bam, he's through. Q2, same. He goes out a bit later than the other drivers. They're like, oh, he's going to get his lap in time. Bam,
Bam.
he's through. Then Q3,
Bam.
perfect lap
He's
together.
through.
Bam, P2. It's happening.
All right. And P1.
Max Verstappen. Do I need to say
Are
more?
you crazy? Max was
Crazy,
P1.
isn't it?
You don't think anyone like Leclerc's going to
I did consider the Ferraris.
pip him?
But yeah, I just don't have a feeling about them this time. They might prove me wrong. Honestly, Carlos Sainz always proves me wrong. So, Carlos Sainz is P1. Changing my mind.
So mine are P3. Charles Leclerc.
Okay.
P2. Lando Norris.
Okay.
And P1, Max Verstappen.
That's a good one. I like that
Yeah.
top three. Why Charles over Carlos?
He's just going to have something to prove, isn't he?
Okay.
And he's generally better in qualifying than Carlos.
Yeah.
Generally quicker over one lap.
Okay.
So, on average, he's probably more likely to be up there.
Okay.
Saying that, Carlos did pull out of the bag last week, didn't he?
He did. It seems like where his appendix has been removed, it has been replaced with some magic.
Let's not speak too hastily. It was a good performance, but it was one race. So
Okay, well, we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Carlos Sainz, world champion 2024. Heard it here first.
We also heard Lando Norris at the start of the season. Didn't
Okay.
we?
I can change my mind. I'm just going to change my mind whoever's winning.
Yeah. Right.
Race.
Results.
Okay, so I have put P3, Oscar Piastri. P2, Lando Norris. P1, Max Verstappen.
So just the same as last year.
Yes, same as last year.
As much as that would be good,
Yep.
P2 and P3 anyway. I can't see it.
You can't see McLaren?
No.
Why
I just
not?
think at this stage of the season, Ferrari are still gapping them a bit.
Okay.
Which is why I'm going P3, Carlos Sainz. P2, Charles Leclerc.
Shock.
And P1, Max Verstappen.
No way.
Now, none of us have mentioned Mr. Sergio Perez.
Interesting that, isn't it? I feel like, I don't know, there's just very little faith in him at the moment.
No, I don't know. He got
I don't know.
P2 and P2, and then
Yeah.
DNF.
Yes.
No.
He didn't DNF last race.
Why is
He
my
got
mind drawing a blank? It's like P5.
P5.
Yeah. Why don't I think he DNF'd?
Basically a DNF for Red Bull.
No, P5 is quite a lot of points.
Yeah. But he's in a Red Bull. He should be up there on the
Yeah,
podium.
and he probably will be, barring something like last year.
Yeah, God, that would be interesting. Yeah, it would be expected to see Perez on the podium, but it's interesting that we just don't really tend to put him on the podium.
Yeah.
We tend to put Max and then two other drivers from other teams.
No, he's just underperformed so many times in qualifying.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
You know, a fair few times for a car with such good reliability.
Yeah.
Saying that DNF last race.
DNF'd?
Yes, the car.
Who, Max?
Yeah, Max in that car.
Right, yeah, okay.
And Perez had an issue, apparently.
He did. To be fair, this season so far, he has kind of proved himself in qualifying, but I just feel like I haven't seen enough to like be confident to put him in my top three.
Right, shall we do our tradition of 3 crazy predictions?
Crazy sometimes.
Yeah, mine aren't that crazy.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess mine aren't, but like not. I guess not realistic. So my first one, it will rain and there'll be a red flag.
What, from the rain?
Yes.
So it'll be too wet.
Too wet. Yes.
Okay.
I did have a quick glimpse at the forecast, and I did see a few raindrops. But by quick glimpse, I mean I Googled it and looked at it for 2 seconds, so I don't actually know what it's going to be like. So, yeah, that's my prediction. First prediction.
My first prediction is what we just talked about. Perez will not qualify in the top 10.
Okay.
She had such a shocker last year that I think this track's just going to, I don't know, he might just have a lot of pressure to do well.
Do you think it's...
Undo the wrongs of last year.
Do you think his confidence on this track has kind of decreased since that?
Maybe.
It'll be quite interesting, actually. I wonder if that's actually a thing.
But if he doesn't qualify well, it's going to be a nightmare for him.
That would be very interesting, actually. Do you know what? I'd quite enjoy that.
Enjoy his pain.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, I'd quite enjoy watching. I feel like that would kind of add some entertainment, him trying to get through the pack. It would add more entertainment if it was Max Verstappen trying to get through the pack.
Yeah, but he always manages it
well, last season
lap
he
10.
qualified. Yeah, last season he qualified. He didn't get through to Q3 once. But yes, as you said,
Yeah.
he gets through quite quickly. What is my second prediction? I have poor memory. Okay. Red Bull will have a poor pit stop, as in it will be long. It will be a very long pit stop. Not very long, but like they'll have a problem taking off or putting on one of the tyres.
Do you just think of things that never happen and say they're going to happen?
You like to call this crazy predictions.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Do you know what? Red Bull are very, very, very good at their pit stops.
Yeah. Consistent.
They
really
are.
good.
But yeah, I'm calling it.
All right. Yeah, I'd like to see it.
I have a lot of faith in my predictions, and I say them quite boldly.
Yes.
So
Bold,
sorry, Red
bold
Bull.
predictions.
Bold, yes. What a better word. We'll change it. Yeah.
You might like my second one.
Oh, will I?
You might. Okay.
Lando Norris fastest lap, yes.
No.
Oh, okay.
Daniel Ricciardo. Will get points.
Yay! Oh, that would be good because didn't you say that they're looking at replacing him with Liam Lawson?
2 more races he's got to show something, and then he's out.
You better be right there.
So.
Do you think P10, P9?
P9.
P1.
P9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. He looked like he was having a jolly time in Australia. Saw in his Instagram picture.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Biggest smile on his face as usual, but
As per.
So hopefully that's gonna help him. So yeah, I hope that one comes true.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how you maintain confidence when you're so down on your luck, so to speak. Obviously, you make your own luck, but when it's not going your way, it's not going your way, and your confidence is hard to recover. So.
Yeah, because I wonder whether he would have had this ultimatum if he hadn't have broken his hand last season and he had more races last season.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's a shame, really. And I wonder where he would be if he was in that second Red Bull. Whether he would be doing better than Perez.
Out of all the Red Bull drivers, was the second fastest in the test.
Yeah.
So maybe that car suits him better.
Yeah, maybe.
But he hasn't earned it.
No, it's just a shame. Yeah, it's a shame because obviously he's not driving that Red Bull and he's not proving that he deserves that Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely believe that if he was in the Red Bull, then he would be doing better than Perez.
Mm.
I'm saying it.
Possibly.
I'm calling it.
Possibly. Yeah, it's a good shout.
Hopefully we'll find out. Yeah. But I think Carlos Sainz is going to go to Red Bull.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We'll see. Your third one.
My third one. No, I don't remember it. Okay. This one isn't crazy. This is probably likely. Ocon will have a 20-second or more time penalty.
It's just a meme.
It is a meme. It's going to happen.
20-second or more.
He won't even
drive-through penalty.
He won't even be involved in whatever happens, and he will get the penalty.
Okay, that's a bit far-fetched.
Okay, yeah. But that's my prediction.
He'll yeet someone off the track.
Yeah, probably Pierre.
Or Yuki Tsunoda.
Or Yuki Tsunoda, yeah. One of them. Was he?
That would be entertaining.
Was he the one that made Fernando Alonso fly in the air? Or was that Lance? Do you remember that?
No.
Do you not remember? We were sat watching it, and you were like, "Oh my god, that car is flying in the air." Do you remember?
There was one where Alonso made Hamilton fly in the air.
No, that's not what I'm thinking about.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, my number 3 is there will be some very hard racing between the two Ferrari drivers and maybe some contact.
Ooh.
Because I think they're going to be fighting hard for that second place spot.
Okay.
And, Carlos is riding the high, wants to prove himself as the number one, be like, Ferrari, you're going to regret this. Charles is like, I am the star of this team. I need to prove that I am the best driver.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some high competition between those two for that second place spot, I reckon.
I can see that happening because I also think Charles obviously has in the back of his mind that Lewis Hamilton is going to be his teammate.
Yeah.
So he needs to prove that he's as good or better than Lewis will be in that Ferrari.
I always have logic behind my predictions.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes, my logic was Ocon has loads of time penalties.
He does.
So there we go.
No, I wasn't saying you don't. I was saying
you have more. You definitely have more logic.
I was trying to think about these things.
Yes, you definitely have more logic than me. But yeah, I can see that because they both have a lot to prove for themselves.
Locked, yeah.
So, yeah, that would be good. But if they end up knocking each other out, my predictions will come true. McLaren.
Yeah, probably
P2,
will,
P3.
yeah.
Well, working together to get the job done. Bob the Builder. Is that not the song? You love me being your sister. So this has been your life for the last 26 years.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Tired.
So over it. Those 2 blissful years you had before I came along.
Yeah, when I was the favourite.
Yes. Oh.
Right.
Right.
That's it then. That's our predictions.
Trying to think if there's anything else.
I don't think so. I think we've just got a hopefully exciting race to look forward to on
Yeah.
Sunday.
It's a bit later in the day, 6 a.m.
Jesus Christ, I forgot about that.
Yep. Well, it seems like a normal time now compared to the 4 a.m.
I don't know. Still don't want to get up at 5:45.
No.
But yeah, just call it a day.
Yeah, let's call it a day. Call it a day.
Hopefully, the next time we are in front of these mics, we'll have some exciting things to talk about.
I really hope it's a good race. Whenever I have to wake up early, I'm just like, God, I hope it's worth it. Yeah. Australia was worth it.
It was.
Hope this one's worth it.
It was. But yeah, anyway, well, we'll wrap it up. So thank you everyone for listening / watching / I don't know.
What else can they do?
Feeling the vibrations of our voices.
Oh my God. If you're driving to work, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're, I don't know.
Listening on Spotify.
We're rambling. If you're enjoying the podcast, or if you have any feedback,
Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment,
Yeah.
follow us on socials, and we'll catch you
after Japan.
after the race. All right.
Bye.
Peace.